In this video, we will configure Logtrade Connect. And we will do that using the assisted setup that we can open from the settings menu, go down to assisted setup, and we scroll down to the delivery section where we can set up the Logtrade Connect app. Don't forget to use the read link here. This will bring you to our documentation site for the app. And here you have the steps that we will go through. We already did this, clicked on assisted setup. And before you continue with the assisted setup, you need to have a license number, username and password from Logtrade. But you can also run the app in a limited demo mode without these credentials if you want to evaluate the product. So this is where we started now. And this is what will happen when we run the assisted setup. We will first see a welcome page describing the 5 steps in the setup. We will enter the credentials for Logtrade that Business Central will use when communicating with Logtrade through the Logtrade API. We will then set up a couple of default package types that we can use on our consignments. And then we will link the shipping agents in Business Central to the carriers in Logtrade. And we will also enter our customer numbers here that the carriers will use to invoice us for freights. And similar, we will link the shipping agent services to carrier products. And for each shipping agent service, we can specify a default package type code. And then the last page in the assisted setup, that is some generic setup like number series and default print queue and stuff like that. So let's go into Business Central and start the assisted setup. I have done that before, but I will do it again. And this is the welcome page. Please remember to expand because otherwise it will be too narrow. Click next. I will put in my credentials here. As you can see, we have information here about the demo account. You can proceed without specifying credentials. And when you click next, quite a lot of settings will be downloaded from Logtrade. So it will take a while, a couple of minutes actually, to do this. So, but I will fast forward in the video. We'll come back to when this is done. So now we have downloaded a lot of data around carriers and products and additional services and stuff like that. So we can continue. When you install the app, you will have these 4 package types as a default. And a package type in Business Central is generic. It doesn't matter which carrier or product you use. And the package type has relations to the package types that are downloaded from Logtrade, which are specific for the different carrier products. But we won't go into those details right now. We will just click next here to accept these defaults. And the next step is to connect our shipping agents that we have in Business Central to the carriers in Logtrade. So here is a list of carriers that is included in my license. So I select DHL Sweden, and this is my company's customer number at DHL. I will just link DHL right now. Normally you will probably have different carriers linked to various shipping agents. And the next step here is to link the shipping agent services. I have package and pallet linked to DHL, and I will connect them to DHL paket, which is Swedish for package. And I want to use the package type of box as a default for that shipping agent service. And the pallet service, I will link to the carrier product DHL pallet. And we will use the pallet for that. So click next. This is the last page. I will set up a number series for the consignment numbers. I think I have it since before. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, here you go. This is a number series that has default numbering. So click OK here. And the Logtrade action describes the action, that the status that we want to send the consignments to Logtrade. Normally you will use prepare, which means that when you send a consignment to Logtrade, Logtrade will validate the data like postcodes and county and other data. And Logtrade will also normally print your labels and documents. And the next here is where you can set up integrated printing. And I can specify my default print queue. And a print queue is something that is within Logtrade. So I send a consignment to Logtrade, and on the consignment we have a field for the print queue, and Logtrade will prepare the consignment, validate all the data, and create a print job in the print queue. And then you have to install a separate software called Logtrade Integrated Printer that will monitor the print queues. This software is installed in your local network since it needs to have connections to your physical printers. And I will also set up a default goods type. Click on new here and like this. Okay. Click OK. And a default shipment date. Should it be based on the work date or the source document shipment date, so forth. I start in test mode, meaning that the consignments that I will send to Logtrade will be marked as test mode. And we will not communicate them to the carriers. We will not send notifications to customers. So even though Logtrade is not in a sandbox, it is a production environment, we will send the consignments in a test mode. So you don't have to worry, you can do testing here. And we also have a setting for removing country codes from the postcodes in Business Central. If you have like BE dash and the postcode, we will remove the BE dash part of the postcode. So we click finish here and we are done with the assisted setup. So we are actually ready now to create a consignment and send it to Logtrade, since we have done the very basic setup. Thank you.